Welcome everybody. I am Jahan Survival, and welcome to Elder Scrolls Online. We're going to start doing some videos and getting some gameplay on Elder Scrolls Online. We're going to do an entire build on a character, not a common build. We're going to do what's called a Bobo character build. Uh, but for starters today, we're just going to go over character creation and making a new character and looking at the different races, classes, and what all the game has to offer in that sense, and try and give you some things to think about and look up prior to starting a new character. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So first off, we have three main alliances when you're making a new character. So first you have the Daggerfall Covenant, which is going to include Bretons, Orcs, and Redguards. Next we have the Aldemari Dominion, where we have High Elves, Wood Elf, and Khajiit. Then you have the Ebonheart Pact, which is Argonians, Dark Elves, and Nords. You also have a male and female selection. Now, to go a little more into depth, you have, with the Daggerfall Covenant, Bretons. The racial skills of the Bretons reflect their affinity for the arcane, increasing their base magicka recovery, light armor, alliance point gains, spell resistance, and cost reduction of spells, allowing them to cast spells with little pause. So to break down what that all means, they're going to be really good at magicka based characters. They're also going to be really good for PvP characters. Now, magicka and stamina we'll get more into, but the basis of all characters, every class can do every role in the game. That being tanking, healing, or DPS for PvE application. The game is really open and tries to make it so that you can do whatever you want to do for any of those roles, whether it's PvP, PvE, or even solo play in the game. Bretons are going to be best for magicka based builds, where you're going to be using light armor, magicka, and they're going to be a little bit better for PvP due to the alliance points gain. Um, Next, we have Orcs. The Daggerfall Covenant, the racial skills of the Orcs reflect their native harsh mountain environments, giving them bonuses to heavy armor use, sprinting, weapon and spell damage, inspiration gain, weapon proficiency, as well as base health and stamina. So, Orcs are going to be really strong at tanking and doing things where they can need to be able to have a lot of resistances and be able to survive a lot. So they're going to be better at your solo builds, PvP, as well as tanking for PvE. Now we have Redguards. The racial skills of the Redguards reflect their ancestral legacy as sword masters, giving them bonuses to shields, base stamina, stamina recovery, movement, and duration of effects from food. Their ability to flow in martial combat is unparalleled. Um, Redguards are really good tanks. They're one of the metas for tanks as well, from when I played on PS4. And they're kind of renowned for that, and their ability to do stamina-based DPS as well. Next, we're going to go through the Aldemari Dominion, where we have High Elves, Wood Elves, and Khajiit. So let's start with High Elves. The racial skills of the High Elves reflect their magical affinity by increasing their weapon and spell damage, resource recovery, base magicka, and experience gain. Ethernet bonuses help define the race as proud and powerful spellcasters. So, as I just said, they're going to be really strong magicka-based characters, especially in DPS roles or healing roles. They're not going to be as strong as for tanking as some of the other races like Redguard or Orcs, but they're going to be really shine with light armor and using magicka-based attacks. Then we have the Wood Elf. The Wood Elf's diversified racial skills reflect their woodland affinity. Improved archery, base stamina, stamina recovery, stealth detection, movement speed, reduced fall damage, and poison and disease resistance make them deadly foes and gifted hunters. They're going to be one of the best races to do bow builds off of, which are not very common in Elder Scrolls Online. Um, they're also going to be a lot stronger for stamina based builds and DPS rolls. They're also going to be able to do a little bit of stealth, so if you want to use them in PvP, you can get some bonuses from that stealth as well in order to kind of be a little sneaky bastard. Next we have Khajiit. The racial skills of the feline Khajiit reflect their natural versatility and skill, giving them bonuses to pickpocketing, stealth, resource recovery, as well as base health, magicka, and stamina. These bonuses help them thrive in many ventures of life. Khajiit are really good at whether you're going stamina or magicka. That doesn't matter as much as the style of play that you're going to do. If you're going to do more of a solo play where you're going to spend a lot of time just being a thief and stealing things, they're going to be your top pick because of that pickpocketing, stealth, and resource recovery. They're also going to be really good for stamina or magicka DPS as well, and they make really good healers. Next, we have the Ebonheart Pact, where we have Argonians, Dark Elves, and Nords. So Argonian racial skills reflect their people's perilous swamp environment, giving bonuses to healing done, restoration staffs, disease, and poison resistance. Resources gained from consuming potions, swimming speed, plus base health, magicka, and stamina. Argonians are one of the top races in the game currently for healing, and the restoration staffs are one of the main bonuses to that, which allows them to be one of the top healers in PvE aspects. So if you're looking to go into healer, an Argonian would not be a bad character choice, and they're definitely going to shine in that role. Next, you have Dark Elf. The racial skills of the Dark Elf reflect their intellect and agility, giving them bonuses to dual-wielding, flame and lava resistance, weapon and spell damage, and base magicka and stamina. These bonuses allow them to adapt to anything. Dark Elves are really just a really good all-around character. There's not one specific role that they fit into better than others. You get bonuses to both the magicka and your stamina, which is going to help you. And with that, you're going to be able to do just about any role in the game. They're a good starting race. Next, you're going to have Nords. The racial skills of the Nords reflect their strong and hardy natures, giving them bonuses to two-handed weapon use, duration of effects from drinks, physical, spell, and frost resistance, ultimate generation, as well as base health and stamina. Now, personally, Nords, I kind of have a weakness for them. My first character ever in Elder Scrolls Online was a Nord Templar tank. They make really good tanks. They're really kind of an autopilot tank. They're super easy to learn that particular role in the game, and I highly recommend using them for that. But you can use them for other things as well. They're going to shine best, though, with stamina-based attacks and using a two-handed weapon. For today, we're going to be choosing a female Dark Elf. So let's go to classes next. Now, you also have your male and female select, but we're going to go to classes. So Dragon Knights are our first. Then we have Sorcerer, Nightblade, Templar, Wardens, and Necromancer. And we'll get to those last two, but we're going to start here at Dragon Knights and kind of talk about Dragon Knights. These skillful masters at arms use the ancient Archavi martial arts tradition of battle spirit and wield fearsome magic that pounds, shatters, and physically alters the world around them. So they use a lot of abilities that would be similar to that of a dragon. So they get dragon scale armor, which is a magical buff that gives them stronger defenses, as well as blow fire, similar to a dragon, which means the name Dragon Knight. Dragon Knights right now are the top of the game for tanks. They're unsurpassed, and they are incredibly good at tanking. Now, if we look over here on the left side of the screen, you can see what each character is going to look like in different kinds of gear. So you have novice gear, champion gear, and these are for the Dragon Knight. And then you also have no gear for when you're creating your character. Next class, you have Sorcerer. Sorcerers are going to be like your wizards, your magicians, so on and so forth. Sorcerers can use conjuration, and destruction spells to hurl lightning bolts and create shock fields, wield dark magic to snare and stun, and summon Daedric combat followers from Oblivion to assist them. You can do stamina-based sorcerer, but they're not as strong as the Magicka-based sorcerer. And they're one of the top DPS classes right now for PvE. A very, very strong class, very good AoE damage. You have so many options, so many different ways you can build a sorcerer, which gives them a lot of versatility, makes them a lot of fun to play. We'll look at the gear really quick. So this is novice gear, champion level gear, and let's go to the next one. So next we have Nightblades. Nightblades are going to be like your rogues from World of Warcraft. They're going to be your more stealth-based class. Nightblades are adventurers and opportunists with a gift for getting in and out of trouble, relying variously on stealth, blades, and speed. Nightblades thrive on conflict and misfortune, trusting to their luck and cunning to survive. So, meta for Nightblades was dual wield with a bow on the back bar. Very strong class, especially for PvP or for PvE aspects. For PvP, one of the strongest burst damage classes you can have. They're incredibly strong, really, really good at just sneaking up and then just assassinating somebody in PvP. And that's where they shine, is in that style of play. So if you want to be a sneaky person, be a sneaky little bastard, this is definitely the class for you. The next class, before we get any further, I got a little ahead of myself there. So this is the novice gear and champion gear. Now I'm going to go back really quick to Dragon Knight and look at one other thing and kind of explain one more thing about the different armor. Now, Magicka, you're going to usually use light armor. Stamina, you're going to use medium armor. And then tanking, you're going to use heavy armor. So usually the rule of thumb, so if you like light armor classes, this is going to be a better light armor class, but you can use it as a tank or a medium armor class, as all of the classes in the game can do any role. But this one's going to shine most with light armor and that. Nightblades, you can use either light or medium, and they're going to really shine in either Magicka or stamina-based gameplay. The next we have Templar. These traveling knights call upon the powers of light and the burning sun to deal massive damage to their enemies while restoring health, magicka, and stamina to their allies. So, comparing it again to World of Warcraft, Templar is going to be very similar to paladins. They use the way of the light to basically create destruction. They make awesome tanks. They're one of the top classes for healing in the game. And so you can run light, medium, or heavy armor, and they're going to really fill into any role you need them to fit. They're strong in PvP, they're strong in PvE. And this is our novice gear right here. And then this is our max level gear. So next you have wardens. Now, in order to play a warden, you must have some of the expansions. I don't remember off the top of my head right now which expansion it is, but you do have to have one of the expansions in order to play this class. Wardens are defenders of the green, master storytellers whose nature tales become magical reality. They wield frost spells against enemies and summon animals to aid them. So wardens at one point were meta for tanks. They're incredibly strong tanks still, and they're really good healers. They're only class that really kind of compares to them for healing abilities really is the Templar. And then they're a really strong DPS class, and they're really good at PvP as well. So they're a really good all-around class and really fairly well balanced in that sense. The next we're going to look at is Necromancer. Now, Necromancer, you have to have one of the newer expansions as well to get it. Now, there's a couple things to know about Necromancers. Notice you'll see a giant thing that says warning. Use certain Necromancer abilities in town is a criminal act. Citizens, guards will act react accordingly. Masters of Death, necromancers can call upon corpses to serve as undead thralls, weave ghastly spells to both harm and heal. Necromancers make incredibly good tanks, healers, DPS, and they're really strong in PvP. So yet again, another class that's really well rounded, and you can fit just about any kind of gameplay style that you're going to go for. They're really strong for tanking in the sense that you can become a giant bone Goliath and just instantly have a large amount of health, and they work really good in that role. Your basic gear is going to look like this, or similar, and then we have our heavier gear. So we're actually going to be doing a Necromancer for our first build, and we're going to be doing what's called a Bobo build, which is going to be based around solo gameplay. So the next thing we have, we're going to go to no gear so you can kind of see a little bit here. So you can adjust the way the body looks here. Let's just kind of drag this little icon around. Go thin, large, muscular. I'm just going to leave it right about there. You can change the height of your character. You can make them really tall, really short. For this, we're going to go really short. And then you can adjust the skin tone right here. For this, we're going to go with a lighter skin tone. And then you can change body markings. I'm not going to go through all of the body markings because there are quite a few of them. We can go through a couple of them. So you can see here, well, gash. Some of them are actually pretty hard to figure out what exactly the body marking is. Some, like this one, not so much. And as you get towards the end, they're going to be more of like tattoo looking body markings. So we're going to do, that's what I think it is. Yeah, we're going to do that one. And then you can change your torso size and all of this. You can change your hips, hand, arm, waist, gut. We're just going to leave all of that. And we're going to get into the face. Oopsie. So, yet again, you have different shapes that you can make to the face. And we're going to just kind of do something right around there. You also have different voices that you can do. You can get some pretty entertaining voices. We're going to do that one. Next, we're going to get into hair. There's quite a few different hairstyles. But we're going to do something. Stop spinning like that. Something probably a little more simple and basic. You can go through all of these. I like the amount of options that they have. It's pretty cool. There's all of those. So let's do this one right here. I'm going to go with that hairstyle. And you have different colors you can do as well. So we're going to do more of a white. And then you can also change the eye color as well. We're going to go with more of the purplish hue. And then to finally finish things off, you need to create a name for your character. So since this is going to be a Bobo build character and it's a Necro, we're just going to name it Survival. Let's go with, we'll just name an actual name, Electra. See if that's there. Okay. And we're going to play through the tutorial, and we're going to do that as another video. Name is already in use. So let's try that. Sometimes you have to try a couple times to get a name. So let's try. Whoop. Here, we'll just name it J. We'll just actually use it by my actual streaming name. So Jahan Survival. Doubt that name is in use. Nope. And there we go. We'll get into the main portion right here, and then we'll end at the very beginning. Now, I have the most current expansion, so it's going to take me immediately to that starting zone. And here we are.
Is someone out there?
So this is where you're going to start.
Use your assistance. I'm quite trapped in here.
And this is actually where we're going to end, guys. So thank you everybody for coming and watching. Welcome to Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again in another date.